Hey everyone, Rico Rivera here with Silicon East Real Estate Powered by Guide. And today I have an amazing friend of mine, friend before anything, right? I mean, he's been a client of mine, but first and foremost, he's a friend and now somebody that I consider a family. And I'm super excited to have him here on with me today this week. And I want him to introduce himself because I don't want to mess it all up. Aaron Quinn, tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, what's up, Rico? Thank you so much for having me on. What's going on, everybody? My name's Aaron. I'm founder of Dreams of Life Coaching, master business and life coach. I'm very excited to be here. Like Rico said, we've been pretty good friends for, I want to say, almost 2 decades now, decade and a half at least. And really excited to see his journey, and he's supported me on mine. And I'm looking forward to having this conversation.
Hey, that's awesome, bro. So let's get right to it. And journey it has been. I mean, I've been almost married 21 years. In a few weeks or a couple of weeks, I'll be celebrating my 21st marriage anniversary. And me and you've been through some real deep conversations throughout our journey. And your journey is a little bit different than mine. And let's talk a little bit about that, man. Let's talk about what it's like to have a blended family. Since I think you've been remarried now for what, 2 years?
2 years now, almost 2 years. Yeah, it's coming up on 2 years. And so I was married for about 9 years, and I have 2 beautiful children from my first marriage. And throughout that marriage, I just, the reason why it ended is because we both weren't fulfilled. We both weren't our very best, and it was a very toxic environment. And I chose to change things by living my true self and being authentic in who I am and what I needed out of my life. And it was a really, really tough decision, a tough call, especially with 2 young children. But looking back now, connecting the dots, it was probably the biggest, most rewarding choice I made for myself in propelling my life forward.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. And I personally saw that in you. I knew you before that, and I obviously have known you afterwards. And it's like a butterfly, man. I've seen you just grow so much, and
I appreciate that.
For sure, man. And unfortunately, there's a stigma out there, and people don't like to talk about marriage, divorce, don't like to talk about any kind of problems. The reality is, this world is full of opportunities, I would call them, instead of problems, right? It's full of opportunities. And really what you do different in your life makes a huge difference for your future. And I've seen that in you, man.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah. So in my first marriage, I just felt like I wasn't myself. I wasn't able to live my truth, and kind of reevaluating that decision and getting up into the decision. You would hear from other people, "Oh, stay for the kids, stay for the kids." It's a lifelong commitment. But what my kids were seeing arguing every day. They were seeing just tension in the house. I wasn't being a good father. I wasn't being a good friend, good husband. And once I made that decision, and I decided to go the divorce route, I really started getting true to myself. And in doing so, I was a better father. I was a better friend to my ex. And since that point, moving on, everything's been on the upward trajectory. So I look back, and I'm very grateful that I made that decision. I'm very grateful that I believed in myself, and I believed in what I was capable of doing. And I believed in my choice that it would make me a better father for my children.
I agree, man. And like I said, I've seen it personally. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I think Tanya and I have decided to do things together and try to change our perspective. Because the reality is, in the last 20 years, 21 years, it hasn't been all gravy, right? And everybody that's been married for this long knows that there's always going to be situations or problems that arise or arguments that happen. And we're just trying to be better and try to be better than anyone that's out there that doesn't feel like we can be better, right? So
sure.
We're doing different things like going to seminars together, going to spiritual seminars. I mean,
awesome.
We just came back from Denver, and it's amazing. And she said, hey, I want to get, I want to start talking to Erin because she actually really loves you and really loves the conversations she's had with you. So that's part of the reason why she's joined the club, and it's going to start to get some life coaching and some coaching from you, man. I'm excited for that.
That's so awesome, man. I'm really excited to work with Tanya. She's a beautiful soul. You guys are awesome, awesome couple and wonderful friends. And I really do cherish the times we have our conversations and the chats I do have with Tanya. I do want to point out one fact with my previous marriage. I take full responsibility and full accountability for who I was in that marriage and how I showed up. And I also take responsibility and accountability for how I'm showing up today. And for me to get to this point, it required a whole different level of who I am as a person. And I had to go through those transitions, and I had to fight many demons to really just transform and transition into a different person and who I wanted to become. I knew for a fact how I wanted to live my life and how I wanted a marriage. And that current situation just was not resulting in anything that was in alignment with who I truly was. So where I'm at now, I'm married to my best friend. We do everything together. We have a beautiful, loving family together, and we're raising a blended family of 4 children, and it couldn't be any better. And we're extremely happy.
That's amazing, bro. I applaud you for that, and I applaud you for taking responsibility, because a lot of people don't know how to do that. And I think that being true to yourself is this first step to being better all along. I want to switch it up a little bit, because you guys are actually have been dealing with this, and that's raising kids in a pandemic.
Yes.
For all us parents out there, because I'm a parent of 2 daughters, can you give us some tips or give us some information or how you've done it and what you feel has worked out well for you, and maybe what has not worked out well?
Yeah, so I'll start off with what hasn't worked well. So in the start of the pandemic, obviously everybody was impacted. All of our work lives shifted. Everybody's working from home. Us having 4 kids, granted we have them 50% of the time, but when we do have them, they're all together in the house. Our current home is approximately 1,200 square feet. So you had 4 children on Zoom calls, and you had 2 professional parents that are also on WebEx or Zoom calls, and the space quickly shrunk down into like a gel cell. So one of the largest things that we integrated was opening the doors, opening the garage, and just making sure the kids had time to go outside and to be outside as much as possible. We tried to shift the schedules and try to really work together with who's going live, who's doing this, who's speaking. It was very challenging, very, very challenging. And also keeping the kids focused on school. You have our oldest, which is in high school, he's in his room, so he's able to kind of do his thing separately. However, the 3 littles, they're sitting at the kitchen table, like 10 feet away from me, and they're all in different classes, and they all have different demands. Some of them are standing up and doing PE with their teacher, while the other 2 are in their own separate little jam. So it became very distracting for the kids. So that was the largest thing that we had to get over. Just the space and the time management, and just the respect that we all deserved and needed and required to get through our daily activities. One of the best things that we've uncovered throughout the pandemic was really understanding what our needs were and listening to each other and being very sensitive to our children's feelings, and understanding that they have feelings, but they cannot articulate it all the time. And getting mad or getting frustrated is the easy route, but really stepping back and trying to understand where the kids are coming from and being sensitive to what they're going through, even though they can't explain it. They've got feelings, and they have emotions, and they're just as confused and frustrated and scared as we are. So one of the things that we did at the beginning, obviously everybody's talking about the pandemic and all this and that and the news and what are we doing, and we're preparing our other stuff, and one of the things we realized is that the more we talk about it in front of the kids at those early stages, it only instilled some stress and fears in them. So we started having those adult conversations separately, so that we don't increase the anxiety level of the kids. But as the pandemic started tapering off, and we started getting used to our own habits in our daily life, we're slowly integrating what was going on, what our decisions were, so on and so forth. It's still a bit challenging, and we're very glad that the kids are back in school and that they're active and they're able to see their teachers and schoolmates.
I think that's a big deal, man. And I saw personally, and this is something that we did last year with our organization with Nora, where we did a mental health hour. I saw personally how it really hit people's minds, right? Your mental health was weakened by the fact that you had no ability to get out of the house. You know, the kids. I feel everybody needs it. Everybody needs some sort of energy from someone else. I know I'm very passionate about going out there, networking and hanging out and doing stuff with people, and to not be able to do that for so long really just messes with your mind. And I saw that in kids as well. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think that'll help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people. One more thing before we leave, just because I know you're busy and I don't want to take too much of your time, but taking 100% responsibility for your life. I know that's something that you talk about. I think you might have been the one that said to read the book, The Four Agreements, a while back. I've read that book. It's a great book.
Awesome. Yes.
And I'm currently reading The Power of Now. It's an amazing book.
Right on.
As well. So let's talk a little bit about that. Taking 100% responsibility for your life, what that means, and maybe how you can help some of our audience if they feel like, you know, they need a coach or they need a life coach or a personal a business coach or something like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Great questions. So yeah, taking 100% responsibility for your life is basically owning your emotions, owning your actions, and really deciding for yourself how life happens for you, not to you. And you may not be able to control everything that happens around you, but you can control your reactions. And how I implemented this concept was basically just going all in on my business, going all in on my career, going all in on my family and my relationships, and really just understanding how I show up in those circumstances. We're all human. We all have our down days or less productive days, but for the most part, if you lead with that concept daily and affirm yourself and just really understand who you are in these circumstances and in these areas of your life, you can empower yourself and regain control of how your trajectory of your life turns out. And since I started doing that, my life has improved 10x, man. Like, it's just improved in all areas of my life. We're doing the best we've ever been, and we continue to grow and accelerate because we are taking accountability, because we are actively being grateful for what we have in our life, and we're putting structures in place to where we can actually mitigate things. And one of the ways I help my clients, and if anybody is interested in working with me, is I help you understand where you're cluttered in your life, where integrity needs to be restored, identifying things that are outstanding, identifying things that are taking up space in your mental file cabinet, so to speak. And then I have tools and techniques that can help you eliminate those and reprioritize what's important for you so that you can get rejuvenated for your own life and you can start rising up and taking action.
I love it, man. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here today. If you want to get a hold of Aaron, you want to just give us your phone number real quick?
Yeah, you can text me at 916-949-4738. And then Rico will provide the links to my link tree if you're interested in scheduling a call. Follow that link, go to the scheduling assistant, and we'll get in contact. I
love it, man. Thanks again for your time, Aaron.
Thank you, brother.
Everyone, if you need to get a hold of me, you know where to get a hold of me. My information is down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Rico.
Thank you, bro.